Monday.com is the ideal platform for
Met a lot of women out there on tour. Ran through them all, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, we gon' fight, but I think that's suicide right here, baby. It feels so first class flights, almost home, but let's go. Fresh off the plane, into the bed. Know a little more than what you pay for your rent. I'm tired of the road, no shows booked, need something home cooked. Straight in the door, straight to the floor. I'm already high, but light up one more. Just got home, I'm trying to chill, but gotta hit the block, get a little yak. Fuck with the hood, see if niggas is good. Jake is on me, asking me why my music all loud. I just tell him, throw a little dice, head crack twice. Light something up, I'm starting to feel nice. They looping around, let me go and peel, cause hey, I'm looking for met a lot of women out there on tour. Ran through them all, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, we gon' fight, but I think that's just first class flights, almost home, but had low enough, short sleeve, no cuff. Aston Martin sitting outside tough. Shorty shotgun, black Hillary Duff. Shit do it big like I was down with Puff. Now I'm in the club, no VIP. I'm down low where every last hood can be. I feel baby boy try ice through me, but walk up to him, real nice.
Man, mine. Chill, baby.
Anyway, I'm trying to see who else here. I see Shorty staring at me way over there. I'm sorry, babe girl, but I gotta disappear, cause hey, I'm looking for met a lot of women out there on tour. Ran through them all, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, we gon' fight, but I think that's just first class flights, almost home, but let's go. Betty right knocking, got them all rocking. About to do the electric slide on the block. Yeah, this popping, got them going crazy from 8 to 80. It feels so good, you can't sit down. You gotta get up and move your fat ass around. You don't care who watching, you keeping it real, cause you let's go. Hey, I'm looking for met a lot of women out there on tour. Ran through them all, but I'm just not sure. We gon' fight, but I think that's just
Leaving y'all the legend tapping in live from the 215, aka the jungle. Breeze in the building. What's up, Breeze? How you doing today, bro? What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? Good evening. Good evening. The Legend tapping in live from the jungle. How y'all doing, man? How's everybody this evening? What's up, Breeze? Hey, Breeze, you got them. You got that guard going, boy. I see you having a problem with them slugs, though, man. Breeze out there going to war with the slugs. Hey, bro, they ain't got nothing. Far as treatment for that. Ain't got no kind of treatment for that. Yeah, M3 getting ready for a Dune Day tomorrow. Y'all know a Dune Day is a African, what is it? African Pride Festival. It's a cultural festival. That's what I'll say. It's been going on since I've been a kid in Philly, man. You know what I mean? That's one of the events. They got events going on today. They got a Muslim festival going on today. Music festival. And I've been running around all day since this morning, so I'm in right now. Figure I tap in, we'll see what's going on, see what y'all got planned for it. Summertime. Plus, guess what? I reached my 400 subs and shit, yo. Salute to me. I'm about to hit my 5-piece, y'all. Chicken McNugget on them. But what y'all got planned for the summer? I be on the countdown and shit, right? I be asking the kids, like, how many days you got left in school? Because, man, when they get out of school, I be wanting them jump right into some activities. You know what I mean? Get right into some activities, you know what I mean? And the kids up here, like what mine's, they be out in the 2 weeks. They got 2 weeks left of school, They had a great talent show yesterday. I was down there watching the kid. Hey, what's up? L is in the building. Said what? I was down at the high school talent show watching my son perform yesterday. You know what I mean? It was a great show. Yeah, chip off the old block, so he won. He didn't come in first place, but he placed. But yeah, I got a few other graduations, and we have a lot of shoe balls for the kids. Y'all down with the shoe balls, sneaker balls? Y'all do sneaker balls for the kids? What they doing for the grown-ups? I've been invited to a few. Thank you, brother. Thank you. A few of the sneaker balls and shit. But yeah, they had one of my granddaughters. She wanted to go to sneaker ball. So she had to get her nails done. Yeah, she had to get her nails done, But it's beautiful outside. It's been beautiful, man. You know what I mean? I got this new venture I'm embarking on, man. Got me hyped and shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know I'm extra anyway, but yeah, African Pride Day in Philly, yes. But yeah, I'm about to step into these new shoes and shit, you know what I mean? And see how that works out for me, But I want just to tap in. And hold up. Let me give y'all know I gotta give my sector commentary. You know what I mean? Yeah, hold up. Let me give my sector commentary. First of all, y'all, it gets under my craw. It really irks me, man, when I tune into somebody's channel and the lady's name, there's two ladies, man. One of them name is Clark. Her name is Clark. The E is silent. It ain't Clarky. It's Clark, and it's Brooke. The other lady name is Brooke. It's not Brookie. So all you people who come on here with y'all smart, y'all so smart, intellectual, the E is silent. That's my sector commentary. But yeah, so how y'all doing for the summer? I took the kid. I was on some water park shit last year, right? But that ain't for me. You did. Roller coasters and shit like that is not for me anymore. That shit felt like I was in a 12-round boxing match when I came home, yo. And then like I'm kind of fearful of being up on them roller coasters these days, man. I open my eyes and I could see the whole. Hey, man, I closed my eyes and just was hoping that ride was over with. And I happened to glance to the side, man, and my motherfucking son, his hands was off the railing. He was hollering and screaming. He was doing motions like he was flying, man. And I was petrified, yo. I was petrified. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep it light this year. If the kids want to get on there, I'll walk them up to it. But I ain't getting on none of them roller coasters, man. I'm not getting on none of them free falls, none of them boats that be going upside down. I'm not doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to stick to that light water, John. I'm a bumping car type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I'll get them little bumping cards. And I like to play the games and shit. You know? But far as me doing rides anymore, I'm retired from rides. Yeah. Yeah, but it be so much going on in our city, but you know, also the it's a negative part to that because this is a very, very violent city, especially when it gets warm. I just, you know, one of my, you know, I ain't gonna say my man, but a guy I knew, you know, I watched him come up and shit in the game and whatnot. I watched him I didn't watch it, but he got splattered in broad daylight last week, you know. And it's back to normal out there. So, yeah, so it gets very violent when it gets warm. I guess that's just a trait of niggas in crowds, and when it get hot, they get aggravated. LV, the show, man. How you doing, LV? What's going on with you, brother? Good to see you in the building. What you got planned for the summer, LV? I don't know, LV, you got any children? You got kids? Because that's basically, I'll be trying to find activities for them, you know, but you know, with this I ain't even gonna get into that. But yeah, I just be trying to find activities for them and also, you know, keep myself occupied, you know what I mean? Because there's a lot going on out here, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot going on out here, you know. Yeah, I might spend some time with me and mines in her garden and shit. Believe it or not, I do got a green thumb. You know. Yeah, I was I've been gardening since I was a kid. I'm turning over the you know, I used to have to dig the whole yard up and turn it over. My mom used to have me turn the yard over. And then certain sections she would want the grass seeds there. Then she had her plants and her rose bushes, and she had all kinds. She had everything: cabbage, grapes. She had everything. You know what I mean? You know. But I used to be the one to cultivate the soil and shit like that. You know what I mean? And then she used to make these flower pots out of tires and shit. Have them painted up and like. Everybody would have one. It had your address and everything on it, and beautiful flowers in there, and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. My mom and dad always had a garden. Yeah, that's what a lot of people did. Like, you know, gardening was something like in the evening, people would come out and tend to their garden on the block. You know what I'm saying? When you could leave it back when y'all probably weren't raised in. I was raised in the days when you could leave your doors open. You know what I'm saying? Like I come from that kind of stuff and shit. You know what I mean? That's why, like, you know what you see on YouTube a lot, man. Bullying. And then I'm gonna tell y'all something, right? I got a cousin that be online and shit, wilding out on folk, yo. I mean, he be wilding. You know what I mean? And at once upon a time, he was a serious individual out there in the streets, but he done had a stroke, and he not that serious no more. But to hear him talking online, man, and he like when I watch him online and him talking and bullying, he be backing niggas down and all that. I think of a lot of people on here in this space. A lot of people is physically not fit to talk what they talk. I ain't even gonna say talking how they walk it, because it's a lot of people on YouTube who be talking real heavy. They can't even walk. They don't have no, you know what I'm saying? They not who you think they are, man. Like, and then it's like there's so much ignorance on here just to try to fit in, man. You know, because like I've dealt with being around a lot of people, being in a lot of different spots. I've had the opportunity to be able to sit down and conversate and verse with people from a lot of different backgrounds, religious backgrounds, and cultural backgrounds, you know what I'm saying? And like, it really, things bother me. It like irks me when I see ignorance, you know, like, you know, when a person be like claiming a culture that's a serious culture, that got serious individuals in it, that come from something where these people, they don't even eat meat. You know, I'm talking about the Rastafarians. They don't eat meat. Some of them don't even, you know, they got, it's a way of life for them. And smoking marijuana, that's just a minuscule part of it. But to say you a Rasta and you eat pork, you crazy, you retarded. A Rasta man will take a cutlass and cut you from ear to ear for talking. That shows the ignorance of people. You know what I mean? You got people in here claiming Christianity and don't even know about Adam and Eve. They can't tell you what the Bible say, even though people don't believe. But it's just, I can get clicks and views, you know. Like we used to, when I used to go to school, the nasty girls, we used to call them the escalator girls, because they would wear no panties and run up and down the escalator so the niggas can see them. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of these the escalator girls, man. Y'all keep riding up and down escalator with no drawers on. Go put some drawers on. Hey, L, I see you commented about, you know, my man Kev. Yeah, like now, Kev, I'm gonna tell you about my man Kev. Kev was an individual that I met when I was incarcerated. I met Kev at a Monohoy State Prison. Monohoy was a state prison. No, they turned Monohoy because it wasn't a maximum. I had good behavior. Get your levels dropped. See, because you know they got maximum security prisons, level 4s and 5s, then they got 3s and 2s, and they become they call them state correctional institutions. They don't call them state penitentiaries. They call them state correctional institutions. So I was in the SCI, Monohoy, and I met Kev. He was in a wheelchair, and both of us was down for murder and shit. So we was on the same block and shit. And I was as a wheelchair attendant, you know what I'm saying? So as a wheelchair attendant, wherever he got to go, you push him, you know what I'm saying? So I would push Kev around the compound and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So one time, now mind you, Kev caught his murder case while he was in a wheelchair on the streets. You know, Kev used to gang war. He had got shot in his back. He was in a wheelchair, but he still controlled the dope block and everything.
Senji.
Hold on for a minute. This is my brother. What's up, Brody? Say what?
Your granddaughter's
Nah, I'm back from there.
Oh.
I'm on live right now. I'm live. Doing a live.
All right.
Hit me up tomorrow. Hit me up in the morning, though.
Oh, all right.
All right.
Currently.
Walaikum salam. Yeah, so I met my man Kev. Yeah, Kev he was doing his thing in a wheelchair on the streets. He got into a beef or something. Dude owed him some money or something. He went to the bar. Boy came out the bar. Kev let him have it. You know what I mean? While he was in the chair. But anyway, hey, Susan, how you doing? Good to see you in the building. Susan, I was over at your live the other day, but you were asleep. You have fell asleep. But it's good to see you in the building. But yeah, so man, Kev going to property. Kev got some property down there, man. So I'm pushing down there to get his property. And he got his baseball cap on. You're not supposed to wear baseball caps inside the buildings and shit. So they always fuck with Kev or the guards and shit. He ain't like them. Anyway, the guard tells Kev to take his hat off. He turns it around backwards. He gets all up in Kev's face, tell him he'll smack his hat out. Kev leaps out the motherfucking chair and got the man by the way. He slams the man down on the ground. Now, mind you, his legs don't move. Kev is paralyzed from the waist down, but he like the Incredible Hulk from the on up and shit. A nigga lift like his max bench for one was 375. For one, that was his max. You know what I'm saying? So he be warming up with threes and all that. Kev was a monster. So he got the guard on the ground. Guard can't move. Kev pounded him out. They leap on Kev like three other guards, man. And when you in those situations, man, like it's either, say, I ain't no bitch ass nigga. So it wasn't no question what I was going to do. But for a nigga who might go in there, and if rather you know the guy or not, if Kev would have been a white boy, a Puerto Rican boy, whatever Kev would have had been, if the guards would have jumped on him and I'm standing there, I had to help him. I had no choice but to help. I had to help. It was either it's either you help, which I'm going to help anyway. That's irregardless. But for guys who don't help, it's either now you got to go back on the block. And a guy like me asks you, well, what happened? And you'll say, yeah, well, the guards jumped on Kev. And so you might go out. When you go out, you're going to go out on a stretcher. You know what I mean? So you rather go ahead and take that ass whipping from the guards. So I leap right on in. The man Kevin there tearing it up. We in property room, so the hole, you know what I mean? The hole, the shoe, disciplinary housing unit, that ain't too far from the fucking property room. So by the time they got finished, they brought the goons, about 10, 12 guards came, 6 apiece, beat me and Kev down, threw us in the hole, man. But yeah, that just was a serious individual who was in a wheelchair, man. And like, it's a lot of dudes out here like that you wouldn't expect. You wouldn't expect that coming from guys in wheelchairs, man. You know what I mean? And that's why I be like, yo, y'all people be funny on here. Cause like I be getting like a lot of people get this misconstrued. Street niggas. It ain't a whole lot of street niggas on here. Don't y'all believe that? It's not a whole lot of street niggas on here. What there are a lot of guys, like most of us Black males, we come from a certain environment. And coming from that environment, it's only natural that we pick up the lingo and shit like that in order to survive in those neighborhoods. But that don't mean we out there in the streets. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, niggas on here 40 and 50 years old. Goddamn right they know what goes on in the streets. They better know if they got kids out there. But best believe, they ain't never been in those streets. They ain't never been out there putting in no street work. Not that that's anything to glorify, but what's worse is faking it. You know what I'm saying? That's worse than a nigga. I believe that's worse than a nigga glorifying a nigga on here faking it like he was about that life, and he's nowhere near that. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all sons be out here getting murdered, because y'all out here faking that y'all from the street. You know what I mean? Well, delete it. That's why, and y'all be on here faking it like y'all from the streets when that's the farthest thing you want to be. Be about that shit. That shit ain't nothing to play with. You know what I mean? Yeah. You blame Hollywood? I blame Hollywood too. But then again, you can't really blame Hollywood for a grown man trying to take on a persona of something that he's so far from. Why would you try to be a gangster? Why would you try to take on a persona of a gangster and that's what you're the farthest thing from? You know, that practicing shit in the mirror, that shit don't work in real time. It don't work in real time. Like gangsters don't, and you didn't know who you just thought he was somebody. You ain't know what he was. He just somebody. I don't know. He a serious individual. That's what you knew. Well, no gangster. I keep telling y'all the OG is me. I'm the OG, the old guy. That's who the OG is. Ain't nothing original about these niggas today. You show me something original about them. You show me one thing original about a character who's made up from things that he done picked up. Nothing original about that. Huh? It's definitely a psych issue, Al. Because let me explain something else. I'm glad you said that. Because, you know, I'm a nigga who has been through therapy. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a therapist and shit like that. And do you know that coming online is supposed to be therapeutic? Do you know this is supposed to be therapeutic for some people? And some people came online on the guise that a doctor may have told them this was therapeutic. And they went being as though their psyche can't handle, you know what I mean, the attention they might, a little bit of attention they turned into a whole big ass character. And now they can't control, now they out of control. When it was supposed to be something to help them. Now it's always farther, that's the farthest thing from, you know what I mean? It got their whole life fucked up. I've seen niggas' whole life get fucked up about this YouTube shit. Yeah. Whole fucking lives fucked up about YouTube shit. They be forgetting the summertime. Yeah. Me and mine say I use way too much profanity. She said I say too many cuss words. I'm trying though. How they in the streets on the YouTube 24/7, most of them. Well, M3, that's what I'm saying. The YouTube streets. See, that's the reality and fiction. They have made this actual a part of their life. Like YouTube is actually, the YouTube streets is real to some folk. You know what I'm saying? Folk to tell you some, yeah, this is real to them. You know what I mean? The engagement, the whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? And they can't disengage. It's hard for them to disengage, you know? Why would you lie all the time? Why would you come on here constantly? Every time you open your mouth, you're telling a lie. And it still's not helping you. You know, why would you have to come on here and reinvent yourself? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Why all of a sudden you want to turn a new leaf and shit? Why you not standing on the same shit you stood on when you first got here? You know what I'm saying? You know? Why don't you have the same alliances and allegiances you had when you first got here? You know? Why do people fall out with so many individuals? Let me go through my comments. YouTube actually saved my life in a weird round. Hey, Breeze. Nah, bro. I can definitely relate to that. I can definitely relate to that. You know, you're not the first brother who, you know, you're not the first brother who stand on something that told me that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's therapeutic for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Once I realized what I was dealing with. See, because Breeze, you gotta understand, when I first came on YouTube, I thought these niggas was playing like they was playing in the streets. I thought that they was talking what they was about. You feel me? I really thought they was about what they was saying, man. But I just see it was called trolling. I didn't know. I thought a troll was that shit in underneath the bridge. You know what I mean? I didn't know people trolled online, which means just aggravating and agitating people. You know what I mean? And once I realized that niggas wasn't, it wasn't all that deep, I just found another line. I just backed up. All you gotta do is back up. You know what I mean? But niggas gonna always riff, but I know they not serious about it. You know what I mean? Not serious. They're not serious about that kind of stuff. So it became entertainment, man. You got some funny dudes on here, man. Oh, let me tap in on the sector. Like Conscious Energy is he's hilarious, yo. And I think he's just a funny motherfucker. I think if Conscious Energy got on a stage, man, I think he'll pull in some. But just like I told Pillsbury, I said, Pillsbury, when you decide to take your act on the motherfucking road, motherfuckers gonna come see you. You're a funny dude. Like the shit that come out of his mouth is naturally funny. You know what I mean? Naturally funny. And don't let him get a white or red cup up in him. You know what I mean? But yeah, him and Conscious Energy, they are two naturally funny individuals, man. And I think if they was to build off of that, they'd be cool. See, bugging out of control. He out of control, Al. He's funny to me, man. That guy, man. Yeah, he's he got his humor. His humor is different. You know what I mean? And Pillsbury, his humor is in roasting people. You know what I mean? Is in he you know what I mean? And if you peep, Pills can't when it got get malicious and dirty and low down, he can't roast you. He out of his element. That's not his element. He not that kind of dude, man. That's not in him. You know what I mean? It ain't in him to be like that. I don't think he like to do that. Far as I know, he don't do the kids thing, but I don't think you gotta really push him to start talking about people moms and all that shit. But just far as calling a nigga, a dusty, and he good with that shit. You know what I mean? Mm. And there's a lot of other funny niggas and shit. He's a character. Well, far as I thought he Las Vegas, ain't nothing in Vegas but players. Oh no, let me stop. Well, Pill said he was a Las Vegas player by way of the Shy. You know what I'm saying? So I know he can handle himself when it come down to love with a little old woman. Yeah, I mean, I know Pills ain't never had no problem with the ladies, Pills, ladies, man, he the queens, remember? Y'all know Pills had all the queens. Pills of Scotland Rock. But that's what's up. He having fun on YouTube, man. As long as you having fun, man. I want to know what y'all gonna be doing for fun this summer and shit, man. Give me some ideas and shit, Don't like malicious trolls. They came in different styles. Yeah, M3. Yeah. They come in different styles and shit. I recognize that now. But everybody can be a troll if they want to. I ain't got time to be trolling nobody on YouTube. You know what I mean? I gotta make time for everything I do. Festivals and whatnot. Yeah, we be having I think the Roots Picnic this week. Y'all, the Roots Picnic is this week. But I got some other shit to do. I usually like get a little slot down there on security. I used to get security slots down there and shit, man. I used to get me maybe about 10 to 8 men down there on any goddamn concert that was going on in the city. I get a crew down there, man. But I ain't been working in the security since COVID. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Breeze, you know, somebody on YouTube called Harrisburg and told him that I was a convicted felon with security contracts and shit like that, and they took the contract from me. Yeah, that happened here on YouTube. Yeah, sure did. I'm still getting money though, nigga. I still get it though. We still got the company though, but we ain't doing shit. You know what I mean? I might do something on the side and shit. You know what I mean? Like when certain niggas come to town, like with Dave East come to town, I could always get some money with Dave East and shit. A lot of Mac and them, if they going out, I can get some money with them and shit like that. Few people that rap and shit that's in the city and I can get some money with. But as far as us doing like venues and having that shit locked down like we used to, because we used to have the motherfucking TLA on South Street locked down, bro. Like, man, kissing all them, man, everybody used to come through that joint. You know what I mean? But yeah, but I'm gonna get back on my shit. Dave East, that's my guy, man. You know he nice too. You know he nice with the ball too, right? Oh, you know he good. He nice with that ball too. Oh, Breeze. That's what he originally used to come to Philly and do, play ball and shit. He used to come to Philly and play ball before he was even rapping. You know what I mean? If you ever heard of a boy named Joey Jihad and D Jones, he used to be around them guys and shit. What's my man name? This boy, he kind of heavy in the city, his name Louis and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm trying to, get a few things popping and shit. But now I'm more focused on the kids, man, with all this violence and shit going on, man. Trying to teach these young boys how to tie a tie. You know what I'm saying? How to pull a chair out and open the door, please, yes, and thank you. Shake my hand, give me a firm shake, look me in my eyes. We got to get the young boys back to that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I got a homie and shit. He did 20 years. You know what I mean? Now he's the coordinator for the charter schools here in Philadelphia and shit. You know what I'm saying? Me and him grew up together. I remember, man, I used to snatch chains. We used to go down to the Italian market and snatch jewelry together, man. So we try to put these programs together and shit, And plus, like, another thing, Breeze, I done found that, like, it's a lot of different resources here on YouTube, man. Like, because I'm also, trying to do something like in this area as far as we got this, like, the homeless crisis and shit, you know what I'm saying? You know, motherfuckers be like, it's exploitation. I'm exploiting them, but like, you know, I want to talk to them and ask them what they cash app, and while I'm talking to them, maybe the people in the chat can hit their cash apps off. That's the kind of shit I want to do. I ain't trying to exploit nobody. Listen, I'm the type of motherfucker who will take over a building and move all the homeless in. If they wouldn't lock us up, like that, you know what I mean? That's the type of stuff I be on. You know what I mean? It's rough out here, yo. You know what I mean? And you never know what a person might be going through or what they went through to find themselves in that situation. You know? That's why it's like you know, really like I feel some type of way with a nigga who ain't got nothing, came from nothing, you know what I'm saying? And when I say nothing, I don't mean material shit like that. I mean your gene pool was never nothing. And you on here trying to down motherfuckers, like robbing a nigga that got less than you. Why would I do that? You know what I mean? That's why I don't be stepping on niggas' necks around here, because it's wasting your time. You know what I mean? And you don't get nothing for taking advantage of people who don't got no sense of direction. You know what I mean? You don't get nothing out of that. You know? There's a white boy who cooked food show. Everybody face, so I say document it if you can. I try to document it, Breeze. I be I document it. I got a boy lined up and shit. Like he actually lives on the corner, Breeze. He actually shut up shop. He live on the corner. He built him a little, what would I call it? A tent, man, on the corner. You feel me? I'm gonna tap in with him, man, and see if we can, you know what I'm saying? Just get his story and see if we can help him out a little bit as far as a couple of hours and shit. I know we can't get him no house or nothing like that, but you know, yeah, shit like that, bro. Cause I ain't got, you know what I mean? I used to be ready, and I used to, you know, hey Breeze, you know, I was one of them dudes who was on here talking real heavy, man. I was biting. I done emasculated a lot of niggas on here, bro. I done put a lot of these old ass Arrested Developed niggas in their place, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't to be played with on here, bro, because I ain't to be played with in real life. And that's what I be trying to tell people, man. Like, people would never understand when, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, dude ain't to be played with. You really got to put your hand in the fire to see if the shit is hot. You know what I mean? It's that discipline, man. Discipline, you know, like it's hard to get, it's hard to discipline yourself at an old age. When you get to a certain age, you become set in your ways and shit. That's why you got to discipline the youth. You know what I mean? That's why, you know, you need structure. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm fortunate. I was fortunate enough to have, you know, a mother and a father who disciplined me and gave me structure. You know, then I had a step pop who, you know what I mean, stepped right in and did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I had uncles and shit. And, you know, and I was raised by the Trizab. I was raised by the mafia. You know what I'm saying? So I've been grounded for a long time, man. You know, and it's easy to, you know, people say it's easy to lose yourself. You know what I mean? But I say it's only easy to lose yourself if you never know who you was. I'm always, you know what I mean? I'm always be me. You know what I mean? I can't get away from that. You know, why would I? You know? Dangerous to emasculate ends and oh yeah, I didn't know that, Al. I didn't know that. See, I thought that, you know, because I'm not a disrespectful guy, you know, so this the first time, YouTube is the first time I've ever experienced the level of disrespect in my entire life. like I've never been approached or talked to the way some of these individuals thought they could do. You know what I'm saying? It's just it just I think about it sometimes the day when I listen to some of these guys talk and say the knife. He had the nerve to talk to me in such a tone. You know what I mean? Like, because I know people don't carry it like that in real time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I carry it like this 24/7. You know what I'm saying? That's how I carry it. You know what I mean? And with the disrespect thing, I thought that you disrespect me, I'm gonna disrespect you to the point you're gonna want to do something. I thought we want to do something because I'm not an argumentative type dude. I'm more physical with the way I get down. And that's how I thought these men were, these men's. But I just thought I seen it was all rap. And then when I seen that it's a lot of dudes on here that be beefing with dudes in their city. That's the last thing I would ever do is beef with a dude in my city. You know what I'm saying? Because we gonna go have breakfast, lunch, or dinner quickly and get our shit out the way. Because if you really from here and you really about that life, you know we fitting to hurt one another. And we don't really want to do that because we got families and shit. So we'll straighten that shit out. At least I will. You know what I mean? At least I will. You know what I mean? But for a nigga to be, you know what I mean, riffing with niggas and ain't really doing nothing, they just keep bringing it online. You don't want no parts of me. You don't want no parts of me. You know, it's all antics. You know, it's the clowns run the circus. You know what I'm saying? The clowns gonna always run the circus, bro. They're the most funny and the most. And everybody comes to see the clowns. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you want to see how many motherfuckers can jump out that little car. Nah, video war, the big lies attached, Bearing and Brooks. Yeah, very. I heard that a long time ago from a Philly nigga. He told me, yo, this is a broke man sport. Arguing, going back and forth with these niggas. And I ain't never been that. And for a nigga to tell me that and make me have to recognize a broke boy, I should have known that from the rip. But I was, you know what I'm saying? You know, I got gaffled. You know what I'm saying? I got gaffled, you know. I can't even see I got gaffled and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I was just holding down my folks. I was just holding down my wife and shit. And anybody she was associated with. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even say I got gaffled and shit. You know? Winners don't take losses from losers, no matter what you may think, no matter how long the game went. A winner never takes a loss from a loser. It's impossible. It's not mathematically correct. You know? So find something to do this summer, man. Get a win under your belt. You know what I mean? Do something with your children. Yo, where you at? I'm on live.
Okay, cool. I'm wrapping up my video right now.
All right, cool.
Can you hear me up there?
Yeah, I can hear you right now. I'm on live. You on there now. You talking. Skedaddle.
Okay, is it live right now?
There's a bear.
Is it scheduled?
Kid, go somewhere.
Huh?
I'm talking right now. I'm on here.
Okay. Is it on YouTube?
Yes.
Is this the premiere?
It's not a premiere. I'm just talking.
Okay.
Give me some watch time hours.
All right.
Scram, kid. Yeah. Skedaddle. On God, that's why I say we don't do that at all, Breeze. At all, you know. I had to teach my son about that bullying shit, man, because he's such a he's such a kind kid, well-mannered child and shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to, you can't be but so nice. You know what I mean? Because people take advantage of you. You know, and you got to let them know that quickly, too. You got to learn that quickly because people today are takers. They're not givers today. It's rare that you find givers today. You know what I mean? And people so much in the too big for skinny jeans. What's up, brother? Nigga sound like a grown ass man now. Hey, too man. What's good with you, Rob? Hope everything's well with you on a Saturday, man. I'm just here kicking something, man. I got, you know, and I got something on my chest. I gotta bring it out. Plus, too bad, I'm trying to find out what's the skinny for the summer, man. What's going on, man? What we doing this summer, man? What's the activities we got, man? What we got planned and shit. Who's that? Donovan Ricardo, how are you? Good to see you in the building. Haven't seen you in a minute. How's everything? Doggone, yeah, them doggone children. You gotta keep them busy. Like it's different because when I was a kid, man, it was always something to do. It wasn't as violent. Like, cause like I say, like I was traveling by myself on SEPTA at the age of 9, 10 years old. I knew my mom told me get on the bus here, and the stops was like I lived on 25th Street. My grandmother lived on 5th Street, so it was the 79 bus take one straight ride down Broad Street. So I knew that get on at 25th Street and get off at 5th Street. You know what I mean? That's all I had to do. I wouldn't dare let my son get on SEPTA. I wouldn't dare do it. I wouldn't feel comfortable knowing he's on SEPTA because the environment is so totally different today. You know, it's so different today. You know, but yeah, I was traveling all over the city, man. I get on my bike, man, and I play ball everywhere. But you know, like today, you can't even certain parks. You can't even let the kid. I got to go to the park with him. I gotta go chill at the park with him and shit. That's why, you know, it's good to get these programs. We gotta get back into these programs for the children. You know, we even got to get back into some programs for the adults because it's really not a whole lot of stuff for adults to do. And you see what happened when you stick them on a computer all day. You know what I mean? They turn into something else. Peace, love to all. Yes, all humanity. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that's not what we're going to get. That's not what we're going to get. You know, that's what we want, but that's not the reality of this world we live in today. Well, it's never been. You know what I mean? It's never been. But yeah. If you stay that focused, that's what, because you're gonna always get what you put out. You feel me? You're gonna always get what you put out. You know what I mean? So a motherfucker can tell you anything. You know what I'm saying? And you know, about what somebody done and what they don't do. And because people can, like I always told y'all, man, you could do anything and justify that shit to make you feel good about it. You could do the most low down shit. If you could justify it within yourself, you can live with it. You know? You know what I'm saying? But that's the thing that when people say motherfucker shit be haunting motherfuckers, that be that slimy shit, you know what I'm saying, that they justify, that they just stand up and take the penalties and consequences for it. You know what I mean? That's why I'm so glad that I was taught to take the penalty and consequences for my actions, man. Stand up and for the, you know what I mean? Stand up on that shit, you know? We are all blessed because we are sons of God. I believe that. I believe that. I believe we all come from something higher than ourselves. You know what I mean? And I think everybody gotta subscribe to something. You know what I mean? You know, it's a lot of different, you know, a lot of different ways to practice your form of praising a higher being and shit. You know, because I done ran with everything. You know what I mean? I done ran with the 5%ers, you know what I mean, where God is a living man. They say God is a living man. You know, they say Allah is God. Allah is a man, an arm, leg, an arm, a head. That spells Allah. Allah. Arm, leg, arm, head. That's Allah. You know what I'm saying? Islam. Islam in the 5% nation means I self, Lord and Master. If you spell it, Islam, it means I self, Lord and Master. You know what I'm saying? And that's their belief. You know what I'm saying? Then they got the other, groups and sects who believe something else, just like they got a lot of different Christian sects and Buddhist sects, but it's all something, you dig? God, good orderly direction. I like that, because it come from some, what I mean? Everything come from wordplay is something vicious, man. Like what it's called? The word etymology? Is that word play? Is that word play? L? What's the word for the etymology? I know playing with words, man. Like they say words are incantations. Spells, you can cast spells with words. Some people believe that. That's why some people don't say good morning, because how could it be a good morning? Morning is a, sorrow. So how is morning good? That's why people say the grand rising. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of wordplay in the English language that, if you into that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But it's a lot of stuff going on, man. I mean, that right there, just studying on that could take you out of some bullshit. Put your mind on something else. You say grand rising, Breeze? Yeah, word, yeah. I say morning to you. Yeah, I mean, that's like, and now, like, when I think about it, my grandfather, the only thing he used to say was morning. He never said good, he always said morning. He never put nothing in front of it. Yeah, morning is for the dead, absolutely. And I understand how, the every day of the week has a meaning to it. See, I still can't get past being in my mama belly for 9 months and then coming out 0. I can't get that. Boss man Ray Triggs in the building. What's up, Mr. Triggs? Yo, figure that one out for me, y'all. Because it's a lot of things that, like, Sunday is the beginning of the week, not Monday. And it's a whole lot of breakdowns as far as words, y'all.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Bethlehem.
year. What that say? See, the purpose of Good Morning in Europe was because all the starvation and death, the Black Plague. That's when they start. Yeah, that's what you. Yeah. See, I know. I know. The Europeans came up with them like them Good Morning all these terms, all these. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they all got a separate meaning to them. You know. Yeah, that's why they took That's why they took people dialects, yo. Why you think they has corrupted everything. You know what I'm saying? Money will never be the root of all evil because it's one of our means of survival. It's the pursuit. It's how you go about it. You know what I'm saying? Which can make it evil or, righteous. I guess that's the word, righteous, just. You know what I mean? But like when I used to be in the dope game and shit, I could justify it. You feel me? That's why I always talk about justification. I could justify that shit. You know what I mean? And make myself feel good about it. You know? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but after certain, I don't know if that's true anymore. I used to think that at a certain age, we all knew right from wrong. I don't believe that no more, due to the fact that a lot of us don't lack a certain level of maturity and shit. You know what I mean? Just because a nigga a certain age don't mean he got that maturity level and shit, man. That's fact, yo. You know what I mean? Because niggas is young old dickheads and shit on some real shit. They can't help it. Street dudes was always full of knowledge and they were spiritual. Absolute. Hey, Breeze. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, that's why this new definition of street dude and street nigga and all that, you are done. You a dumb junkie. Like, you You ain't no street nigga. You lived on a block, nigga, and you watch the junkies and the dickheads do shit, and that's who you emulate. And you've been watching TV too much. You know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Get out the way. That's all I be saying, man. Stay in your lane and you won't get fucking hit by nothing. You know what I mean? Facts. We are a manufactured Negro, man. Facts. Facts. They've been trying to craft, they've been crafting us, bro. What do you think? Listen, bro. That manufactured Negro, he's been in place since the first what they used to call them, studs on the plantation, bucks, the buck. You remember we put the biggest man together with the most strongest looking woman, you know what I'm saying? And we let them breed, you know what I'm saying? We manufacture workers, laborers. Yeah. Now it's mind control. You know what I'm saying? Now they do it through the mind. They take control of you through the mind, through the internet, the TV, the radio. You know what I'm saying? The propaganda. It's all propaganda. You know what I mean? Anything they keep pumping into you that is not what I say in accords with the universal laws. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why, you know, I ain't scared of police and none of that, because I'm a universal law following type of guy. If I think I'm right about it, then that's what it is, and I stand on it. And you know, I know my rights. I got a right to bear arms. I know that. And I got the right to freedom of speech. You see what I'm saying? You know, so if you know that, and you know the context of those things. Thugs wear dresses and carry pocketbooks and everything. Like I was incarcerated when niggas started living the thug life. You know, I ain't never the thug life. That was dirty to me. Niggas that was thugs dressed dirty to me. They look grungy. That's not, I ain't come from that era. Somebody grandmother might see me. I gotta look presentable. You feel me? No cap. If you ever get a chance, I want y'all to look up Nuclear Vault, and you will see how we got to where we are. That's why I speak about a system of white supremacy. And Breeze, I follow what you be saying, bro. You know what I mean? This is nothing that's been just orchestrated. This plan has been in effect for a long time, and they are now just beginning to reap the benefits of the things they put out. You know what I'm saying? You know, they still ain't reached the peak, but they getting there. I mean, do you think that all of a sudden, you know what I mean, the black male has become feminized? That was an orchestrated plan way back in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? To by this time, you know, just like the prison system, you know, they determine how they're going to build and how many prisons they need by the black youth and Latino youth by the time they're in the 3rd grade. You feel me? That's when they start getting the numbers together. Yeah, man. You know, this shit is out of control. You know, because you know we in that box, that matrix. You know what I'm saying? People can't get out. You know what I'm saying? They can't get out. I have a dream that humanity is going to be able to make awesome revelations about millions of unique sixth sense spiritual light. Wow. That's deep. Yeah, I like that kind of stuff. You know, I like that kind of stuff. But yo, I think I've been here like y'all know. I don't rock out too long. I'll be like an hour and some change and shit. I'm gonna give it a few more and shit. Maybe an hour and a half, and then I'm gonna be out of here. Yeah. But like I said, yo, it's nice. And then listen, yo, when you turn around, before you know it, you're gonna be having on a winter coat again. And you still stuck in the goddamn you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that shit be flying by, man. It's already June, damn near the 10th. We damn near, you know what I'm saying? Halfway going through June, you know? So yeah, man, I suggest, man, y'all get out there and free yourself a little bit, man. Get some of them sun rays on your body. It helps with the aches and pains if you got any of them, you know. Get grounded, you know what I mean? Sit up under a tree, blow some of that sticky or something, you know what I mean? You know, if you drink, have a, glass of wine, whatever you do, man, mellow out, chill out and shit. And turn your phone off and just chill out for a few. Go to the gym, hit the heavy bag, play some ball, go swimming, mind, body, and the spirit has to always be in a line as when you're a man. See, women have those things called cycles, menstrual, so they be getting out this. It's natural for them to get out of whack. They clock gonna be off whack. But men, we ain't got no cycles, so our shit should always be aligned. And if it's not, we should have enough discipline to put ourselves back in a line. We shouldn't need another man telling us when we out of line, unless he's your father. Unless he's your father, I ain't your daddy. You feel me? I ain't got no fucking kids on here. You know? Grow up. Y'all niggas need to grow up a little bit, man. You know? It's okay to be it's okay to have fun, but you gotta grow up. You know what I mean? Don't be this example that you are on YouTube. And I'm not speaking to everybody. Don't be this example to your children, because then they'll wind up like you. You know? You should want them to be better than you. The man that you could never be, help your child be that. Help your son be that. Help your daughter be that. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the opportunity. As long as you smooth that path out for them, you know what I mean, and study word about yourself and what you doing on YouTube, and you ain't been successful on YouTube since 2014. You think it's gonna happen now? No. It's not for some things, not for everybody. But this can be therapeutic for a person who wants to come on here and lose track of reality. As long as you're not malicious with it, you'll be okay. You'll be okay, man. You know? Because at the end of the day, always remember, everybody on here ain't for play. Everybody didn't come on here to cause harm and havoc and shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you know what I mean? You'll come to me in peace, and I'll send you back in pieces. You know what I mean? That ain't no threat, so I don't make those kind. That's just me, man. You know? People be like, you be wild, and I be like, yeah, I know. I call my brother son because he rides like, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? I remember my brothers used to come in the room and shit. The old heads, they used to be like, boy, what you doing sleep? Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. I've been getting up since 3 o'clock since. You know what I mean? I used to scare the guards when they walked by my cell. because I be standing right there. Look, wait for this motherfucker to crack. Yeah. They walk by for count. You know how they flash their flashlight in. I be standing right there. Like, yeah. Now I don't sleep. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. You know what I mean? Yeah, Breeze. Ain't no game being spit to the young ones no more, man. Yeah, I grew up in the Nation of Islam, Breeze. I grew up in the nation, bro. Like, I was one of the first students at Sister Claire Muhammad, bro. Like, yeah. So yeah, I used to, then when being incarcerated and shit, being in the feds and shit, like they got the cars and stuff. Like the 5%ers had their own car and shit. You run with the guys. Then they got the Moorish Americans. I used to build with the Moorish Americans and everything, bro. From DC, and they got a lot of Moorish American brothers from DC that I used to build with. You know what I mean? I build with everybody, bro. Oh, then you became an FOI? Yeah, I started in the FOI. Then I just learned to teach, because I really indulged in the story of Clarence 13X, Puddinhead. Yeah, like that's one of my guys, man. Clarence 13X, along with certain individuals that like they my guys and shit. Like Bumpy Johnson and shit. That's another one of my guys and shit. Like, I could tell you about Bumpy. You know what I mean? Because Jeremiah Shabazz, that's my godfather, man. If you know who Jeremiah Shabazz is, that's my godfather, bro. Like, yeah. Jeremiah Shabazz was one of the first ministers appointed by Elijah Muhammad. He appointed 3 ministers. It was Minister Jeremiah from Philadelphia. It was Malcolm. He was in New York. And it was Farrakhan. He went to Boston. Those were the first 3 ministers. Yeah. Then he got another brother named Silas Muhammad. He was in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. So a lot of guys, man, I got history, man. Yeah, I got history. You heard of him? You heard of Jeremiah? I got a book on Jeremiah. Jeremiah, he did my mother's eulogy. That was my, you know what I mean? I remember one time when they had a contract out on him, and he had somebody knocked on his door and they shot him. They shot him in his leg, and they called the brothers, and they called me. I was young then. That was my first time really, like, and yeah, I was appointed the security for the, you know what I mean, for the minister. You know what I mean? That gave me I got some stripes off of that too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? They knew they knew, and I was like, yeah. If somebody come in here trying to mess with, because listen, it was him and his 2 daughters. You know what I mean? 2 daughters. Today, they are his daughters today, they are, yeah, they made great things of themselves. But I was like, yeah, if anybody come, I'm plugging them. I'm gonna plug them. I mean, I think I was like 17 or something, yo. Hey, Breeze, I was gonna earn my keep, boy. Gotta earn your keep. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. But yo, I appreciate y'all coming in the building, man. You know what I'm saying? It's the legend coming to you live from the jungle, 215, man. Breeze, man. Next time you go live, bro, I'll be in the building. I'll be missing you a lot. I'll be having to catch the replay. Cause you know I be running these streets, bro, for real. I ain't talking about no YouTube joints. So I appreciate you, bro. You know what I mean? M3, you know what I mean? Always in the building. M3 is Miss Thumbnail. You know, the plant lady. You know what I mean? Appreciate you coming in the building. My man, too big for skinny jeans. You know what I mean? You know, shout out to Donovan for coming in the building. I can't pronounce your name. How you pronounce that? Miguel? How you pronounce that? Yeah? Huh? Miguel? Miguel? Yeah. But yeah, Susan. Well, Susan was in the building. Susan went to sleep in her live. There we go. Saturday Night Fever. Micha Donovan Ricardo. Okay. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a beautiful rest of y'all weekend. And yeah, I'll be around.